Hallelujah, people. It's the return of one Connor McDavid. 2 to 3 weeks was the diagnosis for mere mortals. Not my captain, not my Connor. McDavid's back in the lineup tonight as the Oilers play host to their Pacific Division rival in the Vegas Golden Knights down at Rogers Place. We are back. Hello and welcome to Oilers Pregaming with BORDZY. Almost said Oilersnation After Dark there. A little flipped up. It's dark outside. It's dark before 6 p.m. You know what you're going to deal with. Brought to you by Sherwood Ford, the Giants. You know the drill. First comment of the day. I'm going to read it for sure. It's McHigh and Dry and just says McJesus resurrected. I didn't know it was Easter today. Lance Kane's in and says I'm ready to pre. Shout out as well. I got some solo cups down here. Amanda was waiting. K. Waddy just says simply, fuck Vegas, let's go. And I like that. He actually didn't say the full curse word, but I'm going to do that because we're pre-gaming today, people. Hello and welcome. Like I said, not only is it the return of one Connor McDavid, but it's the return of Matthew Wozniak. You might know him from TikTok. You might know him from the video board down at Rogers Place, where, I mean, I love you, Woz, but you kind of look like a 12-year-old boy, giddy with excitement with your knapsack on your back and everything. Woz, how are you doing? And how was Derek Ryan and being played on the video board?
Very exciting. I anticipated that for it to happen after they interviewed me. I did not see myself, but I saw the picture on the video board. I feel like a bit of a celebrity.
I think you are a bit of a celebrity.
You didn't even see yourself?
No, I didn't even make it to the game on time. It was Wanya who posted it.
No way.
Yeah, Ronnie, or what was Ronnie?
Ronnie saw it. Yeah,
yeah,
Ronnie.
and she posted in our group chat and then sent it. We posted it. So.
Oh, get out! That makes me feel so much better.
It was incredible. And if you heard the other voice behind the mic, of course, off camera, it's the OG of Oilers Nation, Wanya. We got a packed house today. All the boys are back. Wanya, how you doing?
I'm doing great, buddy. How you doing?
I'm living. I'm ready to pre. I'm just excited Connor's back.
Man.
It feels like the season's restarting again right now today.
I found myself last game being like, something's missing. What? Oh, yeah, the greatest player of the modern
also,
age.
goals were missing in the last game as well. And I think 197 is going to help with that. But Wanya, you're always down here on Wednesdays. And I wanted to give a little advertising and tell the people about what we do down here in the River Valley at Dog Patch, because it's a really cool thing you got going on Wednesdays.
Thanks, buddy. Well, it's like built with nation people cobbled together illegally. So we do a concert downstairs in our little pub called Dog Patch, and it's in concert with CKUA, the hipster radio station. And every week they bring down 90 minutes of music, and our DJ plays it from their vault. So it's like rare and out of date and out of print music. So it's really cool stuff. And we put it on our YouTube channel, which is Edmonton River Valley Company.
Brett, confirm, is that what it's called?
River Valley Company.
Yeah.
Dang.
So everybody who's in the chat right now, if you want to be a friend, go over and subscribe because we only have 60 followers.
From the vault.
River Valley Company is the channel.
River Valley Sessions from the vault. There
Bang,
we go.
There you go. Let's try and help them out. We're a family here.
Come on
and
now.
Of course, make sure you're subscribed to the Oilers Nation YouTube channel. We're trying to push our subscriptions this season as well. I also saw somebody pointed in that we can see a little bit of his arm. I feel blessed.
That's fine.
Ooh.
You want me to promote your subscribers on the River Valley channel?
Hey, a deal's a deal.
Brilliant.
Let's go.
Brilliant.
Let's team it up. But all right, people, talking puck now. The big story tonight. We all know it. It's headline news. It's everywhere in the hockey world. As one, Connor McDavid will return to the lineup this evening. The initial diagnosis was 2 to 3 weeks. It took Connor McDavid 9 days. The man isn't human, right? I've said he's Wolverine. He's got adamantium running through his bones. He just simply is not human. And we saw him on last Friday. It was because Rogers Place was busy. They had an Arkells concert on Friday. Then it had the UFC on Saturday. But Connor was ripping around the ice that day, which was 4 days removed from his injury. And he didn't look any worse for wear there. And he doesn't lately as well, especially today's morning skate. On Monday, he said, and I quote, "Feels pretty good. Not too much limiting me on the ice. And I am happy with how it feels." Now, I know that there's a number of Oilers fans, me included, that were shocked and surprised to see the news this morning saying 97 was going to be in the lineup. I thought the earliest we would see him would have been Saturday against Vancouver. He did Monday say that he was day to day, but There's a lingering worry, I guess you could say, that some people had that, is he rushing himself back from injury? Is it something that you want to wait? You don't want to let it linger? To that, I say nobody knows 97's body quite like 97 does. So if he says he's good to go, then he's good to go in my mind. Question to you, Oz, is do you think he'll be 100%? Do you think he'll be hobbled? I don't, just from watching him ripping around on these morning skate videos that everyone posted. He does not look any worse for wear. And as I said, 97 knows his body. If he says he's good to go, get in the lineup.
And also, I think there's no one else who takes better care of the body
Fact.
than Connor McDavid. He has all these professionals inside his house. I think as soon as he landed in Edmonton and got home, he called up his team. Hey, get
me in the hyperbaric chamber.
Exactly. Let's do some repairs here. Because I think if you watch the Prime documentary with McDavid, and I think it was during the playoffs where he was like doing some treatment, and it was just like he had so many different people giving him advice and helping him out. So I'm not surprised that he's back early. It's not the first time he's kind of came back sooner than expected. I think last year is an example. I think the Heritage Classic, they're really pushing him to play. He was really pushing to play in that game, and he did. So Connor McDavid, we tend to say he's not human. Sometimes it feels like he pushes those boundaries. Like, are you human? But it's awesome to see him back. I think it might take him a period to get up to speed, but I feel like I'm going to be wrong very quickly.
Clearly, the odds makers are thinking Connor McDavid's going to be back up to normal because 1 point today was like minus 400. I believe 2 points is still like minus 100 something. I call him Wolverine because he is superhuman because of the way he's healed before. But Wanye, I don't know. There was a question also asked that, like, did the Oilers just say 2 to 3 weeks so that maybe Connor every day in practice wouldn't have, hey, are you ready to go tonight? Hey, are you ready to go tonight? Hey, are you ready to go tonight? And that this way, oh, look at us. We're all surprised and we're all happy and no one really expected this. What do you think of Connor's return to injury?
The only person bringing back Connor McDavid is Connor McDavid, right? The doctors, I think, are there to support him. So, like Waz said, I would trust his gut. When you see him talking, the level of annoyance he's showing,
he's back.
He's back.
Yeah.
He's back. He doesn't want to talk about it anymore.
Like he kind of mentioned, like if he didn't feel right, he wouldn't be playing, right? Like
you wouldn't risk an early November hockey game to get in here. Now it's a big game, it's a division game, and you're back on home ice. But the team has looked okay without him. If he wanted to wait another one till Vancouver, he would have. I also see some people in here. We didn't know the extent of the injury as well. Injury has a negative connotation. Yep. And then Percy said his ankle was just taking a few mental health days. Maybe he wanted to come home, get his Halloween costume in order early.
Can I just add, it was hilarious how last week on Monday we here at Nation HQ, we're all freaking out about the ankle injury. We're replaying it in slow motion. We're like,
I thought my life was over.
We're like, he's going to be out for months. He's going to be out for like weeks and weeks. And 10 days later, he's back.
9 days, not even 10 days later. It's absolutely incredible. Obviously, 97 is going to bring a huge boost back to the lineup, but he's not going to do it with his regular line mates this evening, as Jeff Skinner has been upgraded to the top line. He'll play left wing with McDavid and one Zach Hyman. Shout out Brett, producing behind the scenes. There you get a good look at the lineup tonight. Your second line is going to stay the same as it has with Podzilla, Leon Draisaitl, and Victor Arvidsson. But then we get down to the third line, and we see not only is Adam Henrique still there, but he's on the left wing, while number 93, Ryan Nugent-Hopkins, moves down the lineup back to play in center on the 3C with one Connor Brown. Then, of course, we see Matthias Janmark and
Derek Ryan
with one Corey Perry on the fourth line. Now, there's lots to unpack here with that, and we'll start with the top line. So I like the combination of Jeff Skinner, McDavid, and Hyman. You like what Skinner brings to it, that offensive touch. Never met a shot he didn't like before. And right now, with the way Ryan Nugent-Hopkins has been playing, he is not providing that type of offense. So it does make sense. Those three, Skinner, McDavid, and Hyman, have played 10 minutes and 10 seconds at 5v5 this season. They've been outscored 2-1, out-chancing the opposition, 18-14, though. So I do think they just need more time to cook. But on paper, that is a trio that will work. And what I mentioned with Nuge, right? It's like, he doesn't look like the former 100-point man, 36-goal scorer in the one season. And Skinner does look like that guy. He is a natural sniper, and He's going to be locked and loaded anytime McDavid is dishing him the puck. You know what you're going to get with Zach Hyman 24/7. He's a tough guy, gets in those dirty areas. So it's an interesting combination tonight. Wanya, I'll start with you. What is your thoughts on the top line with Jeff Skinner instead of Ryan Nugent-Hopkins?
I think that it's harder to play with Connor McDavid than people think.
Oh, yeah.
And not everybody who's an elite player in the NHL can play it at Connor's speed. So you got to give the different combinations time to gel, right? Because it's really a sped up game. So I'm interested in seeing Skinner, though, to me, with Kane out of the lineup, seems to be able to provide a lot of the scoring that Kane maybe would have been looked to. Yep. And on balance, we might be, able to have the same kind of outputs. I'm interested to see if he can play the game at McDavid level speed. He
even had an interview earlier today where, Brett, what did he say? They asked him and he just giggled with that adorable Jeff Skinner smile that he's got. But he just said, I'm just going to try and keep up. I'm just going to try and literally keep up. And that Connor operates 2 steps ahead of his own line mates. So you got to be trying to think of what he's thinking at the same time. But as I said, they've only played 10 minutes together, like Nobby's done with Podzilla, Leon, and Arvidsson. He stopped bringing out the blender and he's let them work some things out and work out those kinks. Right now, it kind of looks like this team is reaping the rewards. Waz, thoughts, Jeff Skinner. And then what point you mentioned with Vander Kane too, Wanya, like Skinner is in that role. He's not getting top power play time. Vander Kane didn't get that. It's all going to come 5v5. And I like the look of it tonight. Waz, your thoughts?
I'm very excited to see how Jeff Skinner will do with Mr. McDavid and seeing if they can
Mr. McDavid.
If they can work some magic. And Zach Hyman, obviously, still on that top line. He's starting to get a little hot here. It's going to be interesting to see if Zach Hyman can score with Connor McDavid. Let's say he doesn't score, maybe there's something there. I'm just saying, no, I'm very excited. And Jeff Skinner has proven that he can score goals in a variety of different ways. And I think having someone like Connor McDavid is definitely going to help him do that. But, I'd like to see more of like Jeff Skinner's shot, like in Buffalo, we saw those sneaky wrist shots, very accurate. So I want to see if McDavid can really set him up for some nice goals.
And it's like the way we started the season with Jeff Skinner is he was shooting every puck that came his way, his shot prop, his betting on Bet365. I made a lot of money, a lot of profit off that one, but it has slowed down a little bit. Leads me to my next point. I think part of the reason why it slowed down for Jeff Skinner a tad over the last little bit is because of his line mates and that third line's lack of production. Just straight up call it what it is. And I think this move to put Skinner there and Nuge down is, yes, it's a demotion for one Ryan Nugent-Hopkins, but I think it's to pick up the slack there in that top 9 on that third line, because the Oilers straight up need way more out of Adam Henrique on the offensive side. Now, as a result, trying to do that, they're moving him back to the wing tonight. Chris Nobla said he's going to play left wing, which is where he succeeded a lot last season when he was playing with the Anaheim Ducks, when he was on that 20-goal pace last season before he joined the Oilers. And he's going to get joined by Ryan Nugent-Hopkins, who will be playing that 3C. And while Nuge, I've said it myself, isn't your typical centerman anymore, I think at this stage of his career, he is better as a winger. I think that this maybe gives Adam Henrique a little opportunity to maybe play a little bit freer on the wing and go off his natural instincts, while Nuge, we know, is very defensively responsible, very defensively aware, and they're smart in both ends. But these two was, Enrico and Nuge, they've shown chemistry in the past last season that they were able to cook together. They're both roughly the same age, that they're both long-time NHL veterans, even though Ryan Nugent-Hopkins may not look like it. Throw in a little Connor Brown speed on that line as well, and I think that has the look of a very dangerous third line, and like I said, was kind of turning the top 6 into a top 9 in theory.
Well, it's interesting you say that, because Adam Henrique, when you think about him, you don't think he's older than Nuge, but he is. Like, he looks older. I think
he was drafted in 2008.
Really? I think he entered the league around 2011. Okay, interesting. That makes a little bit more sense. But both two very highly intelligent hockey players. We've seen them have a little bit of chemistry. Both very responsible as well. I think Nugent-Hopkins this year maybe has been a little too responsible. I think he's a little hesitant to shoot the puck at times. He's always trying to make the perfect play, the right play. Nothing wrong with that, but you like to see a little bit more risk from Nuge, I think, in terms of maybe shooting the puck.
Yep, I agree. I see someone in your Southpaw. Nuge could maybe offensively feast on that third line. Brett, I want to get your thoughts as well. We're big Nuge guys here. We are big lovers and supporters, and I will look past a lot of his lesser moments. So far this season, though, they've been too frequent of him not shooting the puck, hesitating, just not looking the way he has. And not going to say that Nuge's not a top-line winger anymore. He absolutely is. You could throw him on the line later in this game, and he'll score a goal and find a way, but with the way he's been playing lately, this move does make sense.
Yeah, the form is showing that he's not ready for the top line, and not ready for the top line. He shouldn't be playing on that top line right now. And I like the idea. They're all three are very similar players in Connor Brown and Adam Henrique with Ryan Nugent-Hopkins. So I think you see a pattern and you see an intention on what you want to see on that third line. A lot of guys that battle hard on that line. Those are three guys who go into dirty areas, willing to win a puck battle, and guys who get into open spaces as well. So, and again, they don't only work hard in their own offensively, but they work hard defensively as well. They're smart hockey players. They get the puck out, carry the puck over the red line quite well, and into the offensive zone quite well. It'll be interesting to see how this theoretically, it's a line that should work.
In theory.
Yes.
In theory, communism works. Shout out Lance Kane. That's a Simpsons reference. He'll totally understand that one. Also,
Sorry?
Lance, your stories, Simpsons related things lately have just been killing me. Everybody go follow Lance Kane because he is very funny. Bo, great point in the chat. I need 1 F per 60 as our base standard. Fight per 60. Go around the room. Who's fighting tonight? Give me your picks in the chat as well. Wanye, go first. Who's fighting for the
Darnell
Oilers?
Nurse.
Was?
Matthias Janmark.
Brett?
I also like Darnell Nurse.
Adam Henrique, I'm going with.
Whoa.
I don't know why.
That'd be
I think he just wants, if your game hasn't been there, sometimes dropping the mitts is exactly what you need. And I don't know. I feel like Rico could kick some serious ass.
No one's going Podzilla?
No.
Okay.
I feel like that fight was a one-off.
Couple people in here, Nurse, couple Darnells. Yeah, we like that as well. One line we know we don't need to worry about, obviously, is the Leon, Podzilla, and Victor Arvidsson. They didn't score against New Jersey, but they have been cooking as of late. They've been the best of the bunch. Like I said, Nobby's put the line blender away for those guys. I will say, though, Podkolzin, feels like everybody's picked him to score in every game lately, and for good reason. He was plus 600 in the last game. Tonight, he's plus 550. I've been thinking about throwing down because, he is due, and he's playing the right way. Pods has 7 shots in his last 2 games, and he's been getting those in the dirty areas. Second line's going to continue to cook tonight. Other news for the Oilers, though. Our pal Noah Philp. He has been sent for assignment down to the AHL, which say goodnight to Tyler's take of he will never be sent down ever again. First thing I said to him today when he got in the office, he wasn't thrilled, but that was the first thing I said to him. But Philip in general, 1 assist, 3 games with the big club. His minutes were severely reduced in the last 2 games because they were closer games. He looked good in spurts, would you agree? I don't know. He looked physical. He looked big. Felt like in games 2 and 3, it wasn't the same as game 1. Maybe he had that game 1 energy and nervousness powering him through. And also, when you get a point in 10 minutes into your NHL debut, you probably feel pretty good about that as well. The man that I think a lot of people you know where I'm going with this, that think should have been sent down over one Noah Philp, is Derek Ryan. He will be back in the lineup this evening on that 4th line, centering between Janmark and Corey Perry. I get the move with Philp because the idea, right, once again, in theory, you take that NHL experience, you go back down to Bakersfield for a couple weeks, maybe a month, knock on wood. Hopefully no injuries, and you try to apply those things that you learned in the NHL club, the things you learned from Corey Perry. Derek Ryan, sometimes he can be a whipping boy, sometimes he just straight up is bad. That game against Columbus, my oh my, we don't even need to talk about it, but thoughts on is try to be impartial. I know you're a Derek Ryan guy, but thoughts on Phil being sent down and Derek Ryan still being up here. Drake Caggiula was also sent down as well.
I'm kind of happy about it.
Shocker.
Because it's sticking to the man, Everyone's hyping up Philp, and he looked pretty good. I won't lie, especially in that first game. He brought a lot of buzz and energy. And, hey, he has more points this year than Derek Ryan on the 4th line, right? It's just, he was quiet against Calgary. Didn't really see much from him. Yeah. Same thing with the game against I was at the game. Who did we play?
Devils.
That game was so forgettable. I won't lie. It was such a boring game. So, yeah, he also wasn't noticeable. But also Derek Ryan, on the other hand, has not been providing much offense at all. And I'm kind of unhappy with how he's playing in the 4th line. I feel like Derek Ryan, if there's anything he should be doing, is getting to the front of the net. He really does that. He kind of avoids them. Like, Derek Ryan, just get to the front of the net, man. Something's going to go right for you. You can score. You can tip one in. You have the hands. You can, this guy has scored before.
You're not going to score good goals. You got to score ugly, greasy goals if you're Derek Ryan.
I feel like he's always a little bit on the perimeter, and Derek Ryan is a smart hockey player. He knows where to be. He does the little small things. It's just being a little bit more effective on the ice when you are there.
I think he's a smart hockey player at this point in his career. I think he might be a soft hockey player.
Yeah.
Also, we got to set the line tonight. How many times does Derek Ryan find himself laying down on the ice?
Yeah.
Let's set the line at 2.5, Brett. You taking over or under?
I'm going over because I was also going to say 2.5 as the
I'm
line.
also
Hey,
taking the over.
but you know what? Noah Philp, he's been assigned to Bakersfield twice this season, and Derek Ryan hasn't. So
You said that in the ONE chat today, and I was giggling away. Nobody else read it, and I was like, "Attaboy, was attaboy."
I think Tyler and Liam avoid my comments.
Wanya, any thoughts of Philp when he's been up here with the NHL club for 3 games? He was good, like Red. He got that point. The ideal start. You got a point 10 minutes into the first game. He gets sent down. Does it make sense to you? What are your thoughts?
I think, as usual, Tyler Yaremchuk is just filled with falsehoods. But shout out to Waz for standing on business here, right? Like, DR10's biggest supporter is not going to sit here and watch you deconstruct his boy on air and not stand up for him.
Respect. You don't get on the Oilers video board by tearing him down. You got to build him up. Now, as well tonight, I see I've already spent 20 minutes on this, but hey, we're just talking Oilers on the Oilers pregame. Stuart Skinner, he's going to get the start tonight against the Vegas Golden Knights. Fresh off, he made 29 of 31 saves against the Calgary Flames on Sunday. He has great career numbers against those Golden Knights besides the NHL playoffs. Let's just try and forget those numbers. It kind of feels like the goaltender controversy has slowed down a little bit so far right now. As you see, these numbers are much more similar. I also made a YouTube video like, I don't know, a week ago, and I just made the thumbnail the word controversy with both of their pictures. Shocker, that video crushed, and there was a lot of comments in there, everybody giving their opinions. But it does feel like after Pickard's last performance and after what Stuart Skinner did that, hey, we're back down to Stu is our number one any way you look at it. And I'm happy that he's going to be in the net this evening. Let's move now to our need-to-know information, courtesy of Will Hawk Beef Jerky. Only the finest tasting meat products earn the Will Hawk name. Made from 100% pure Alberta beef, their jerky is aged, seasoned, smoked, marinated to savory perfection. They gladly fill orders of any size. You can find their jerky, sausage, and other products exclusively out of their Leduc location. For more info, go to willhawkbeefjerky.com. You can't see it off camera, but Wanya is giggling at the way I did that ad read.
That was superb. The chef's kiss was chef's kiss.
It's almost like I do the same ad read every single time, word for word. And we love Will Hawk Beef Jerky. Brett, we need to get more here because when I get anxious, I like to munch on things. And like, you know, beef jerky is kind of the perfect thing where I kind of feel like a dog on a bone. Just like, just grizzling away. And you know what I mean?
Okay,
You know what I mean?
Yeah, but you don't have to with Will Hawk. Like,
Yeah,
Will
it's
Hawk
true.
is
I guess that
just-
might be a thing about me.
It is genuinely some of the smoothest beef jerky and meat I've ever had in my life. It is fantastic.
Pause.
Sorry, after that, I was like,
Also, the pepperoni sticks
I'm
to
gonna stay
die
back
for.
here.
Literally to die for. For the Oilers, need to know information. Obviously, they went 2-1 without their captain, Connor McDavid. Leon put up 6 points in those 3 games. Hyman scored twice. Corey Perry scored, but you're going to need more offense. And you see it here. The graphic from Mel that just, it's never going to change. We're never going to lead in any of these categories. The Vegas Golden Knights almost doubling us in goals for per game. 4.8 would be a double. I can do that math. They are slightly better in goals against per game with a 0.1 difference. Look at the difference in the power play as the Vegas Golden Knights, not known for a team in their past of having an elite power play, even though they have all that talent on their roster. They won a cup with a less than average power play. And now you're giving them that. So look out. I know Tomas Hertl has been a big influence on the power play. Their PK, not great, but compared to the Edmonton Oilers, looks, forgive my language, fucking fantastic. And I would kill to have a 73.9 PK percentage right now against the Golden Knights in their history. Connor, 10 goals, 18 assists for 28 points, and I think it's 20 career games. Leon, he's got 11 goals and 16 assists in 22 career games, so both over a point per game. And Nuge, he is also a point per game player, 21 points in 21 career games. You just saw it on the graphic. The Oilers are going to win games, and especially against good teams like the Vegas Golden Knights, good teams with a power play like the Vegas Golden Knights. You got to fix it on special teams. Penalty kill has been killing the Oilers, and our identity for several years has been power play merchants. Well, right now, or a little bit of 5v5 merchants, even if that is an actual thing. The Oilers, they've won their last 2 home games against the Golden Knights and 3 of the previous 4 meetings overall, outscoring Vegas by a margin of 18-12 over that span. Most recent win, 5-1 beatdown by the Oil in April. So that was near the end of the season. Take it for what you may. And these 2 teams will meet 4 times this season, with the next meeting coming December 3rd at T-Mobile Arena. Answer me this, and I get it, they are a division rival. I'll ask you another question after. Why do we play Calgary 3 times but Vegas 4 times? That seems seems wrong.
The NHL likes to flip-flop their schedules every year. I think last year we played Calgary 4 times. Now this year it's 3 times. And
that's a good answer.
It's just simple. I think the NHL actually did have. I think Gary Bettman had an explanation once, like why it's the way it is. So, yeah, the NHL just I don't know. They don't understand rivalries, I think.
My next question to all of you, because Vegas now we're getting 4 games, and I just maybe make this a poll, Brett, if you can give a couple options here. Who is now, this goes to the chat, who's now your most rivaled team? Who is your most hated team? Because for me, it was always the Flames. Then the Vegas Golden Knights started to step in, and little playoff loot losses here and there. Then Vancouver Canucks came out of absolutely nowhere last season, and I despise them right now. There's always your Toronto Maple Leafs. You got your East Coast versus West Coast, whatever you want to say. So I'm curious, who's your number 1 rival now?
I would say the Vancouver Canucks, and not particularly because of their team, but their fan base. I personally find them to be a little bit more annoying to deal with.
Luke Gazdic agrees.
Yeah, you say one bad thing about them, and it's like they come after you in waves. And I find with Flames fans, they're a little bit more tolerable and a little bit more intelligent.
I feel like there's a respect level there too.
Yeah,
we're doing this to just go at each other.
I'm friends with Flames fans. I'm not friends with a single Canucks fan. And whenever I come across a Canucks fan, it's always negative.
Wanye, who's your most hated fan base now?
Well, I don't know if you follow the Oilers too closely, but the Florida Panthers
See?
are
Yeah, there's
no
another
friends of mine. I'll tell you that. Or vice versa.
Carolina Hurricanes.
Wow. But the Panthers I got real beef with. Fresh beef.
Okay.
The Hurricanes.
Willock beef jerky. Fresh
delicious.
Beef. Well, Brett, most hated team. Who is it?
Most hated team or fan base? Because you asked those 2. Which one?
Dealer's choice.
Okay. Least favorite fan base is the Leafs. Least favorite team has to be the Flames.
Yeah.
Grew up against it. It can't be anything
else.
We are the kings of Alberta.
I will never think anything else than the Calgary Flames. It's always the Flames. Now, that's just a team I hate the most. If I had to go fan base, I think I agree with Waz. Vancouver, but it's weird because I'm gonna open up the 4th wall here. I'm 29 years old, and I think I spent 28 of those years never even thinking about the Vancouver Canucks as a rival to the Edmonton Oilers or anything like that. I didn't think of them as an enemy. We start every season against them, and I still didn't think about it like that. And then, boom, you drop the hammer of last season, and we got beef. We got Willock beef jerky. Of course, Golden Knights side of the need to know info. It's a tale of 2 different teams when they are at home or if they are on the road. The Golden Knights 8-0-0 on home ice this season. They are winless in 4 games on the road. At home, they give up 2.29 goals per game. On the road, they give up a league worst 4.5 goals per game. They don't like traveling, and they're going to be on their start of their road trip here. I believe this is the start of it for the Golden Knights. They also, for offense-wise, have 6 players with over 10 points, while the Oilers have 2. Any guesses who those 2 players are, everybody? Connor and Leon, obviously. Mark Stone leads the team with 20 points in 12 games played. Jack Eichel has 16. And the third man on that first line, Ivan Barbashev, he leads the team with 7 goals. Vegas comes in hot. They've won 5 of their last 6. They've scored 4 or more in 5 of those 6 games. 6 against LA, 7 against San Jose, 5 against Calgary, 4 against Utah. And while that isn't the toughest competition out there, I don't think the Oilers' defense and goaltending is also technically the toughest out there right now. Aiden Hill is going to get the start. We do believe tonight. I believe projected Team Canada's number 1 goalie. Come on, get out of here. It's Stuart Skinner's job. Him and Stu have very similar numbers this season, but Hill, he's 5-2-0, and all you really care about is that win. Let's move now to our Sherwood Ford Giant storylines, brought to you by Sherwood Ford the Giant. They're hockey fans helping hockey fans. That's why the team at Sherwood Ford is offering exclusive perks to all of Oilers Nation. Say goodbye to the hassle of car service and enjoy free valet pickup and delivery. They'll pick it up, service your vehicle, and return it to you. So now you can hit the ice, you can watch the game, you can do whatever you want without worrying about your ride. And that's not all. With every purchase, Oilers Nation fans get $500 towards a vehicle service plan. Experience the ultimate in automotive care and fan service from our friends at Sherwood Ford. Also, wintertime. Look outside. There's probably still snow in my backyard. Doesn't get much sun, and the snow is not going away. It's winter tire season. They'll change them over for you, and as we've mentioned, they will store your winter tires for you. If maybe you got limited room in your garage, maybe you've been storing them in your closet, Sherwood Ford will help you out. And as we always say, you don't even have to drive a Ford to get any of these perks for the free valet and all those things. As I say, I'm not going to give any free ads to the company of car I drive, but I just booked an oil change with Sherwood Ford, and they said I could do it. So shout out Sherwood Ford, the giant for a reason. My storyline tonight, and you guys can throw them in or add on as well, you in the chat as well. For me tonight, it's all about offense. It's offense, offense, offense. Not only the Oilers have 97 returning, but their forward lines have been heating up as of late. We found that chemistry, and the blender has not been out as much. But you need contributions from guys like Nuge, Rico, Hyman, Jeff Skinner. Those four specifically I am looking at to elevate their game, and just a little bit of production from those guys would go a long way. I like the over tonight because both of these teams like to score some goals. And sure, I could say, hey, be defensively sound, play smart. That's boring. I want offense, run and gun. Let's see who can score more goals. I think we're going to see a high-flying shootout. Hopefully not an actual shootout. Those are too stressful for me. But, Waz, let me ask you, what's your storyline tonight that you're looking at?
My storyline is going to be scoring. As you were kind of saying there, honestly, the Oilers right now in general have only scored 31 goals this year, which isn't a lot compared to the Golden Knights and even the LA Kings, who sit second and first in the Pacific Division. The Kings have 47 goals, the Golden Knights have 54 goals, and just all facets of the game. And for the Oilers, they're kind of known to be this high offense, high octane juggernaut team, and you just haven't seen that. Especially,
where is it?
Exactly, where is it? It's not on the PK, obviously. It's not been on the power play. It's been a little bit on 5-on-5. We just need more scoring. Like, when's the last time have the Oilers had a game where they've scored at least 6 this year? I think maybe once, maybe not even that. There's been 2 5-goal games here and there. And, Vegas, they lead the NHL with 40 goals at 5-on-5, but they've also allowed a 5th most with 30. Their games have been high in hockey at 5-on-5 with 70 total goals, while the Oilers have had 45.
Take a breath.
As outlined above here on Oilersnation.com, Edmonton's defensive play at 5-on-5 has been actually pretty decent, but will be tested tonight by Vegas, and their 5-on-5 scoring has to wake up if they hope to win.
Derek Ryan's in, and he asked, are the Oilers due for one?
Yeah.
Buddy, you should be on the ice right now, man. Get out there, Wanya. You got a storyline or anything you're looking for tonight?
Well, yeah, the kind of you alluded to was, I think the specialty teams have to revert to the mean, right? Like sooner or later, the PK and the PP are going to both improve. I think of last year when the Oilers were sitting 31st in the league, we were all just shaking our heads as to what in the hell was going on. And then it turned out they ignited and rocketed their way back up. I don't think this season is nearly as bad, but those numbers are still shockingly poor for a team as well as good as the Oilers. And the fact that we are, having seen overall success for the season, despite power play and penalty killing being that bad, sooner or later they're going to wake up, and when they do, a team is going to get a big hurt laid on them.
I just want to add to that here on Oilersnation.com. Jason Greger added, the Oilers have allowed 14 power play goals in 13 games. They've only scored 5 power play goals, so they're -9 on special teams. They're essentially starting 70% of their games trailing 1-0. Not ideal, and it is very difficult to win when both special team units are struggling. They've only had 3 games where the PK was above 75%. They defeated Pittsburgh and Detroit, but lost to Calgary.
That's rough right there, man.
Everyone likes to point at the defense, the goaltending, but the special teams and the offense has to pick up. Exactly. Spider-Man point.
That's saying 70% of all games have a PK goal against. I said on the last After Dark, it feels like you're starting every game down 1-0 because at some point. Last game, they only took 1 penalty. It was too many men, and they still found a way to get scored on. Also, recommendation to fix the PK, stay out of the box.
Yeah,
that's a little simple.
Just going to blame myself. because at the preseason, I made a bold prediction that the Oilers would have the best PK in the league. Somebody called me out on Twitter last night out of nowhere. I'm like, yeah, well, that hasn't. Well, we're just going to move on.
Totally. I mean, I'd like to blame you, but no.
Please do.
I do a pregame show. I jinx all the time about everything that's possible. Brett, let's pull it up now. The Edmonton Oilers lineup this evening. We look through the forwards. Pull them up again just so everyone can see if you're joining. Jeff Skinner, top line with 97 and 18. Second line, Podzilla, Dry, RV stays the same. Third line's Rico in the wing with Nugent, Connor Brown, Janmark with
Derek Ryan
and Corey Perry. Then we go to the decor side of things. Ekholm and Bush, Nurse with Stetch, Kulak with Ty Emerson. But you just mentioned it with the special teams, so I want to talk about it here because the issues kind of start and end with this team right now on special teams, not being very special plays, brother. Bring back Sketch. They have a league worst 60% PK so far this season. May I remind you that the worst PK in NHL history was in 79-80 from the LA Kings, and they were at 68.2%. So we still got a ways to go. 8% isn't that easy to climb. It is absolutely insane. They have, when talking about the PK, right, because I am no coach. I do not know how to do the X's and O's of that, but through my eyes and the eye test, it's just, there doesn't appear to me much structure. They're all in together in one area, or they're all too spread out apart. They have, it seems like, no drive to make a hard play. There doesn't seem to be a lot of accountability. Time after time, you see dudes in front of the net completely untouched with no hurt on their personal well-being, no fear of anybody putting a stick into you. We saw last game Jesper Bratt literally in the dead slot alone, untouched, directly in front of Calvin Pickard. Now, I want him to make that stop, but that's why you're allowing goals, man. You can't really blame your goaltender for that. The Oilers, they've allowed 5 power play goals against through screens as well, which are, Jason Greger had pointed out in there as well.
I'm looking at that right now.
That he said screens are more scored on than breakaways.
40%.
That's insane. That's insane to me. But if it's not that, it's another thing, right? Like you're just not getting the timely save when you need it to come. There's sometimes no communication on who's taking what man. There seems to be no confidence, which is leading to hesitation you could see out there of whose man is that, who's going to go take that one, and a couple seconds of, or even split second hesitation is going to backfire on the power play, especially when you take on teams like the Golden Knights that are rocking at 32% right now. Now I say all these things and I go, how do you fix it? Don't really got a ton of answers for you. I would just say sticking to that structure, clearing bodies in front of the net. I had presented, one, I'll get to you in a moment. Bring Noah Philp onto that PK. He's a big body. He's a right shot. He's played PK before. He wins draws. Well, he's gone. So that one can't happen. Vasily Podkolzin, maybe. He's killed a little bit of penalties. I think he's had like 8 minutes on the PK without being scored on. I could see him being an option as well. Either way, doesn't really seem like there's one solution. More saves, more block shots, get the puck out of your end. Wanya, your thoughts on the PK?
I don't want to be, not on the PK, but just overall game changer tonight, why we'll see these numbers move. 97 being back in the lineup. Like a lot of this is going to be rectified by the big engine coming back online.
Well, he doesn't play PK.
I'm saying not on the PK, but just overall numbers, right?
You get that juices flowing again.
Yeah, well, exactly, right? And just energizing all parts of the lineup and having that leadership too. All parts of the game will improve.
Well, his thoughts on the PK, it's not good right now, brother.
Well, like I'm going to reiterate what Mr. Jason Greger said on Oilersnation.com. When the PK is confident, there is no hesitation, and players are flowing. They're pretty in sync, and I think that's been the issue this year on the PK. It just hasn't been in sync. Guys are aggressive. They don't hesitate, make it harder on the power play. You see the split-second hesitation more often when confidence is low, and then guys try to do too much and solve the problem. Jason Greger points out that often leads to more issues. Darnell Nurse has been a culprit a few times where he gets out of position by doing too much. He needs to reduce those moments as well. I think other players as well.
As well, shout out to Jason Greger. Go check out the game day breakdown and the game notes on Oilersnation.com. They're also in the description of this YouTube episode as well, because that's good producing from my boy Brett back there.
It's like we're a good source of Oilers information.
It's almost like we spend our entire days thinking about the Edmonton Oilers and talking about them. Now, one shitty special teams area to another shitty specialty teams area as the power play is shockingly low. Brett, pull those numbers back up, the head-to-head between those two teams, because it is at 14.7%, which is up because it's now 25th in the NHL. There's not many dudes that can single-handedly fix a power play. Dare I say 97 is that one man that can do that. Maybe Nathan McKinnon as well, but I understand they weren't productive with him in the lineup, but come on, it is Connor McDavid. It's going to be happening. He'll be back to being that, puck transporter where Boosh just drops it back without even looking, and then you see Connor skate from out of the picture, and he takes it in. He makes gaining the offensive zone look so easy, which is one thing I noticed. Without him, the Oilers were struggling to do in the last couple of games, but in general, he's just a straw that stirs the offensive drink. He is zipping around that entire ice. He gets to go anywhere he wants. Hopefully, he brings that energy, brings that jolt to the man advantage. And we're going to be back. We do believe, right, Brett? You got it there. Back to the same old PP1 that we've known and loved for years. Hyman, Nuge, Leon, Boosh, and 97. Hopefully that can get him cooking. And if you want one positive tonight, we're also looking at power play points tonight because they are juicy. Leon Draisaitl plus 210. One positive tonight. Vegas Golden Knights penalty kill kind of stinks too. They're 23rd in the NHL at 73.99%. Please tell me it's going to be the perfect opponent to get right. Is the power play going to score tonight? Yes or no?
I'll go with a yes. Woo! I think it's due, especially with Connor McDavid back. I think we've been saying it's due for a while, but this is over the last 3 seasons, including this year, the Oilers' power play percentage is 28.6. That's the best among the NHL over the last 3 years. And they've also scored the most goals in the league in general in that span. So this power play has to cook. They have the players to do so. It's not like they forgot how to do power plays. It's just not humming right now. The fact that it's 27th right now in the NHL it's weird. It's broken right now, and you can still fix it.
Oh, there's plenty of time, and that's a good ingredient. How Lance Kane, this just killed me. Wall should have a podcast where he just reads Oilers Nation articles at me.
I like it. Hey, man, that's my job.
Yeah, we're doing that one right now. What are you talking about? One area, and Brett, this is where I want that graphic. One area I can confidently say that will improve for the Oilers is 5v5 scoring. Shout out to your Yaremchuk math, but he's able to crunch these numbers, put these in, and shout out Pat, because he made the graphics. So if you guys look at this one, this is a great explanation and way easier to understand. This, in 3 letters, says Oilers are due. They are due to start scoring goals. You look at last season and this year's shot attempts 5v5. The numbers are higher. Shots per 60, higher this season. 5v5 scoring chances, higher this season. Expected goals is down 0.17, I believe. And then you look at actual goals per 60, 2.990 last year to 1.93 this year. That is almost an entire less real goal, while your expected goals has gone down 0.17. You see the shooting percentage, 8% last year, league average right there at 14th in the NHL this year. 5.74 for 30th in the NHL. When you look at those top 3 ones, more shot attempts, more shots per 60, and more scoring chances 5v5. They will eventually start scoring goals here. They're getting good chances. They're getting good opportunities. They just can't seem to finish. I sound like a broken record, but it's going to happen tonight because we're betting the over. Progression, Brett. Progression to the mean will happen. What time we got here? Yeah, let's move along now. Let's go to our starting goaltender report. Brought to you by Sherwood Power Sports Marine. Hit the trails this winter and the waves next summer. As fellow hockey fans, the team at Sherwood Power Sports Marine are helping Oilers Nation fans gear up. They're home of an ATV for just $50 bi-weekly, or cruise the open water next summer for as low as $105 bi-weekly. Sherwood Power Sports Marine are hockey fans helping hockey fans get ready for their next adventure with motorcycles, quads, e-bikes, and boats. Okay, pull it up here. Head-to-head, tail the tape between our 2 goaltenders this evening. Aiden Hill against 1 Stuart Skinner. See, you look at the numbers here. Stu has a better save percentage, and they've got close together goals against averages. But you look at Aiden Hill's record, 5-2-0, 315, 874. Then Stuart Skinner, 3-4-1. Stu, he's got a 4-1-1 regular season record against the Vegas Golden Knights. Regular season, that is. 294 goals against and an 888 save percentage. So not tested a lot, but can be scored on. Now he does have a 2-4 record in the playoffs. .875 and a .397 goals against. But that was then, and this is now, and that was the playoffs, and that's not what we're doing right now. Throw it out the window. He's coming off a W against the Calgary Flames, where I said he stopped 29-31. He looked good. The problem with Stu so far this year, Wanye, he's been up and down. You don't know what you're going to get from one Stuart Skinner. Is he going to be 940, 950 Vezina goalie? Or is he going to be 750 ECHL type goalie? Wanye, what Stuart Skinner are we getting tonight?
I think you're going to get the good one, right? As well, I mean, he's had a little bit of a break, right? Like, I think I don't see any reason why he won't bounce back.
Was?
Those stats are interesting because everybody tells us that you can't win with a goalie who puts up numbers like that. Adin Hill is putting up numbers like that, and the Golden Knights are winning. I wonder why. It's because maybe the Golden Knights don't know how to score. It's crazy, isn't it? Right? But Skinner, we're knock on wood, he brings his A game. There's been times where he does have a little bit of time off and just isn't the same goalie. He lets in a few flubs here and there, but I think if the team in front of him can play solid, I think Stuart Skinner will play solid.
Yeah,
it's very simple.
I mean, it really is. And it's right. It's like
yeah.
If you're going to be in the penalty kill as well, that's where I think Stu, some of his numbers have severely lacked. Calvin Pickard's as well. Make it easy for him. Clear the bodies in front of him. Don't make me pull out the Jason Gregor stat. Don't make me get Waz to read that stat off the article one more time. The other side, Adin Hill, he gets to start. I'm always going to hate this dude after what he did to the Edmonton Oilers in the NHL playoffs a couple years ago. Brett, you know the story behind that I cannot share with everybody. It involves Greta Bar Yeg and Adin Hill. It's pretty dope. He's got a 1-2-1 regular season record against the Oil. 8.91 save percentage, 2.8 goals against. But he was lights out in those playoffs. He had a 9.34. Having a down year this season, but I don't know. Maybe it's just because I've been burned before by Adin Hill, but that's a guy I am not going to take lightly. We've seen him make miraculous saves, and for some reason, he just plays really good in Rogers Place. As we all remember, it was Laurent Brossoit, right, who hurt his hip in the NHL playoffs. I believe it was. Adin Hill comes in, and then since then, what has he done? Won a Stanley Cup, signed a big ticket, might be the starting goaltender for Team Canada. Shit, dude, worked out pretty well for you. All right, I'll tip my cap to you there, but I'm going to boo you all night long tonight. Let's move now to our Greta Bar Yeg away lineup, brought to you by Greta Bar Yeg. They're my favorite spot. Greta Bar is where Oilers Nation loves to watch the game, home and away. It's a great spot for pre and post game. We're going to be there all season long for our viewing parties throughout the year. Check out their great street food menu, games in the arcade, weekly drink specials, because Greta Bar is the place to be. All right, let's take a peek here. Bartholomew. Nice, that's what we're going to call you. Bartholomew J. Simpson is Bart's name in The Simpsons. Your forward group, Ivan Barbashev with Jack Eichel and Mark Stone. These three have been tearing it up so far this season. Second line, Brett Howden with Tomas Hertl and Pavel Dorofeyev. Third line, Tanner Pearson with William Karlsson and Alexander Holtz. Cole Schwindt with Nicholas Roy and Keegan Colasar. Decor, Noah Hannafin with Pietrangelo. Boo. You better still boo the shit out of this guy. I don't get over things easily. I hold grudges. Liam said he was at Disneyland last year in the summer, and Alex Pietrangelo was there. And I said, did you two-hand him over the wrist? Did you bring the bar down on his wrists? Eye for an eye, brother. Second pairing, Braden McNabb with Shea Theodore. Third pairing, Nicholas Haig with Zach Whitecloud. So I mentioned that top line, they're good. They're very good. Mark Stone, 5 goals, 15 assists, 20 points, 12 games. Eichel has 3 and 13. Barbashev, 7 and 5. 3 NHL vets that are 3 very good NHL vets. Oilers tonight, we will have last change, so you'll get the matchup you want for the majority of the time. Either way, Oil D, you got to be aware when these guys are on the ice. I make the same kind of comparison when we were playing New Jersey. I said, like a Dallas, and I think this applies to Vegas, these are teams that if you turn the puck over in neutral zone area, neutral ice, breaking out of your own zone, they can kill you fast. They can make you pay fast. It's bing, bang, boom, and in the back of your net. So you're going to have to be very aware, especially when those 3 dudes are on the ice. Wazinho, do we have a rivalry with Jack Eichel?
Maybe a little bit.
Do we? One, yeah.
He's my most hated NHL player.
Okay.
Really?
Okay, I was curious. I was.
Matt Kachuk, I think, is more of a rival.
I respect him though. I don't
Really?
respect Jack
Okay.
Eichel.
Really interesting.
I don't know if I respect. Like I do. He won a cup. He went
Yeah.
through a severe injury. He's found his way to play.
Yeah.
I feel like Jack Eichel always shows up against the Edmonton Oilers. I did look up. He has 17 points, 16 career games, but I don't know. I feel like there was always he goes second, McDavid goes first. I don't think it was ever a Taylor or Tyler situation. Not even close. Everyone knew who the Oilers were going to take, but I don't know. He skates well. He shoots the puck well. The reason I don't like him is because he's very good at hockey.
Yeah, exactly.
Brett, thoughts on one Jack Eichel? He's got a similar hairstyle to you.
Yeah, I think that's kind of why. I don't mind Jack Eichel. Sometimes you don't realize how good Jack Eichel really is, and I think that's just because we also kind of feel the same way with Jack Eichel, where it's just like, oh, it's that guy, always number 2 to Connor, always going to be somehow grouped in with Connor. But Wanya, I want to know why he's your least favorite NHLer in all of the league.
Facial structure, general demeanor. I don't like his face.
I was going to say the look.
He always
face.
looks sour. I've never seen him once looking appreciative of the blessed life he lives as an NHL star. I've never seen him looking remotely happy for anybody on the ice or himself. He just seems like a general goober.
I like it.
What's the line in Step Brothers, Brett, where he's like, something about your face.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
Change your face or I'll change it for you. That's how I feel about. Maybe I should go that far, but hey, take a puck in the teeth, see what happens. Vegas leads the NHL with 40 goals, 5v5. They've also allowed the most at 5v5 with 30 against their games. Their high event hockey, as I said, I like the over tonight. I like the run and gun going. Their top 5 in goals, power play, shooting percentage, but they're bottom 3rd in the league in goals against. So hopefully we can find a way to beat Eden Hill and just fight fire with fire tonight, Wanya. Give us an entertaining game. We got people down in Dog Patch. They're just listening to some chill-ass music. We're going to be up here. We're having a couple of nation beers that you'll see right in front of me as well. But I want a high-event game. I don't want a boring one like, as you mentioned, we did After Dark after Monday. I started the show and I was like, I think this is the simplest breakdown I have. They sucked. Okay, good night, everybody. I need something tonight to be able to talk about. Give me something interesting. And it's a division game.
I don't care how many goals the Oilers allow. I'll be honest. If it's a 6-4 game, 7-5 game, that would be awesome. Give us some entertainment. I feel like we haven't really had those back and forth games with the Oilers this season with anyone else.
Against this team, okay, fight fire with fire. Outscore your problems. Also, one thing talking about the Golden Knights have that average, I guess, penalty kill that they've got out there tonight, hoping that maybe the Oilers can find a way to bury on them. Well, one thing that's not going to help with that, they take the least amount of penalties in the entire NHL. Very well coached. They average only 4.8 PIMs per game, which, as I said, is lowest in the entire NHL. But it's a division game. It's a rivalry game. I think emotions are going to be high. As I said, if you're in the building tonight, you boo Alex Pietrangelo every single time he touches that puck. If you want to boo Jack Eichel, go nuts. I'm not going to tell you to do that, but go nuts. Do whatever you want to do. Yes, Brett?
There were a couple times on my cruise that there was a family from Vegas, a couple families, but I saw this one family specifically from Vegas who always had Golden Knight stuff on. So I had a lot of ON stuff. I had my Oilers stuff on. I would always walk past, and it's kind of like that meme of the guy just standing there staring you down. That's kind of what it was. Is just us two. They didn't really say anything, but there were times where I was like, "Let's go Oil," and they just. So yeah, I don't like them. I don't like Golden Knights fans.
Oh, I like Vegas.
I
I like the city of Vegas.
Yeah. What?
They're whatever to me. They're just another good team.
I just
I like
told
the
an
party.
experience.
Alex Pietrangelo. I can't never
Try that again.
All right.
Pietrangelo. I can't ever really say his name.
Take 3.
Anyways, never liked him. I don't like
Jason Greger didn't put the pronunciation on it. All right, let's move along. Before we get to Bordzy's bankroll, we got to shout out our friends at Odd Company. Grab your beer. We're pumped to partner with Odd Company for our Nation Beer Everyday Lager. Perfect for game day. Perfect for every day. They are dangerously smooth. Go pick them up at one of 2 Odd Company locations in the city, or go to liquorconnect.com. Find where you can buy them. Go hound your local liquor store attendants as well. And as we talked about, they're selling kegs of this stuff now. So If you want to do it, I pointed out, I've had a tap for a keg in the trunk of my car for like 7 or 8 years.
Here we go.
So we've got half of what we need. Now we just need the keg here at the office.
You weren't hoarding. You were planning.
I just get some piss warm beer here in the office. It'd be sick. We love you, Odd Company. Go check them out. They do great stuff as well. The other one we're going to squeeze in as well. People, time to give back, because on July 24th, 2024, a wildfire devastated the town of Jasper, displacing families, ruining 30% of structures. And as they rebuild, hockey remains a lifeline for their kids. Right, a way to stay active, stay connected, and resilient, of course. Sports brings people together. Remember the playoffs? Never seen so many happy people with no fights in the streets. Sports brings everyone together. And right now, Jasper can't have that going on. This season brings unique challenges with their rink out of commission. Travel distances are crazy for practice. They have to play over 30 away games this season and manage with their limited facilities. We had a person on from Jasper Minor Sports, and she explained, normally we'd fundraise and we'd use, local businesses to come around and they'd support their money, but they themselves are trying to redo their businesses. They can't do it. So these shirts on nationgear.ca right now, you can buy them. Proceeds going to Jasper Minor Sports. And it's what it says on the screen. For the love of the game, help support minor hockey in Jasper. Also, those shirts are they're sick. Look at them. They got great logos. Mm-hmm. Shout out to Kennedy. They come in t-shirts. They come in crew necks. They come in different colors. Do what you can, nationgear.ca. I know a lot of you guys in the chat have already bought some of these shirts. Christmas right around the corner. Mm-hmm. Make it a gift. There you go. You're getting a gift off the list, and you're helping out Jasper Minor Sports. That's a twofer, baby. Then you go buy yourself some Odd Company beer to reward yourself as well. Final one, Brett. Bordzy's Bankroll brought to you by Bet365. Bordsy Bankroll brought to you by Bet365, proud partner of Pregaming with Bordsy. Open an account with Bet365 today and bet on a huge range of markets. Whatever the moment, it's never ordinary at Bet365. Download the app today and use the code NATION, all capitals, nation. All right, couple minutes here left. Brett, I was just about to yell, whip it out. Nope, pull it out, but that doesn't even also work. Pull it up on the screen. You can't see what he's doing back there. Can't see what he's doing back there. Bordzy's Bankroll today. We've got 3 options. If you're new here, we'll make a poll. I want to know where you guys are going to vote. Full transparency. Already bet all 3. Already parlayed them together responsibly. Only betting what I'm willing to lose. Doing so responsibly. But I think they're all going to hit tonight. It's going to happen. Jeff Skinner, first one, number 53, 1+ point at plus 115. So top line, back with Connor McDavid and Zach Hyman. And you put a plus sign next to that one. I'm going to take it. You could have went shots as well, but to get over 2.5 was still minus. So I thought this was going to be the better way to roll out. And the second one, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. Darnell right now. He's hit this in, I think, his past 4 games in a row of over 2.5 shots on goal. The odds went up for some reason. Last time I said this, they then recorrected them, but they went from 132 to 135. He's put up 18 shots on goal in his last 4 games. All he needs is 3 tonight. He's been having an uptick in minutes as well. You notice he's playing with Brett Kulak a little bit more here and there, off of whistles, off of faceoffs here and there. I like that. And then it wouldn't be the return, the resurrection, as Mackay and Dry put in the chat to start. 97 anytime goal. It's Connor's world. We're all just living in it. And tonight, I'm going to try and profit a little bit in that world. You look at these 3 bets, which one do you like the most?
I like the 97 anytime goal. I feel like it's one of those moments where Connor McDavid, a player, comes back from injury and they just instantly go off and they show you why they're the best player in the world.
Wanye, what are those bets do you like?
I like them all. I think you're going to be a rich man by the end of the game.
Come on. I think parlayed together responsibly is over plus 800. Brett?
I am a big fan of Daryl's 2.5 shots because I'm a sucker for a little data. I'm a sucker for somebody who does their research and stands by their research. And that's none other than our boards. No.
Oh. Come on, buddy.
What's that?
Daryl
trying to steal my flowers, trying to take my flowers. All right, final question to everybody around the room. You know what it's going to be. Score prediction and an anytime goal scorer. Walls, go.
Anytime goal scorer, I'll go with Matthias Ekholm. He currently
Juicy.
has third most points for the Edmonton Oilers this season with 2 goals, 7 assists, which is pretty crazy considering Evan Bouchard has 3 goals, 4 assists. So Matthias Ekholm, he's been sneaky good on the points side.
Like him on a shot prop as well. Wanye, score prediction, anytime goal score.
6-1.
Fuck you.
I think Connor's going to score for show.
Connor, for show. Brett, thoughts?
I am going. I think it's going to be kind of a run and gun game, like we've been saying most of the show. I think 6-4 Edmonton with a. You know what? How about a little Rico goal?
Rico Suave. Go
on,
buy your
baby. We like
t-shirts. Shout out Kennedy for me.
How much you want to bet I could throw a football over the mountains?
Back in 82, I could throw a pigskin a quarter mile. All right, then final score 8-2. No, I'm kidding. Tonight the over is going to cash 5-4 overtime. It's going. We're going all night. This is going to be a little playoff atmosphere, a little playoff energy tonight. And
OT winner goes to
number 97.
Ooh-wee.
Put the team on your back. Like Greg Jennings broke his leg. Final shout out to all of our sponsors: Sherwood Ford the Giant, Sherwood Power Sports Marine, Greta Bar Yeg, Bet365, Wilhock Beef Jerky, Odd Company, and you know what? Get a little oodle noodle while you're at it tonight. You want to order in? I always say during a game, like, you're not gonna cook. It's already too late. This one's starting a little bit earlier. Just bite the bullet. Go get some oodle noodle. Get some Tokyo Glaze. Get some Kung Pao. Do it right tonight. And then tonight as well, we'll all be here right here on the ON YouTube for Oilersnation After Dark. Me, Brett, Waz, Wanya. You might be around.
I'll be around. I'm going to be here.
Okay, come. I want you on the show. If you're
All
here.
right now.
Let's go. Boys are up. Connor's back. Good luck out there on the Bet365 Battlegrounds. And I'll see you in like 3 hours. Peace.